album. Is this what you expected? Oh boy.
I hope so.
All right, so first, new album, because I know that's big news for you and your fans. Tell us a little bit about what you've been working on.
Yeah, so as of Thanksgiving week, we just signed a record deal. Yeah, and it's gonna, I can't really get into it. I'm not actually allowed to. But it's gonna be something that people would not expect me to do. I'm not rap, don't worry about that. Country rap, crap, no. But it's very exciting, and I'm so passionate about what we've written. It's a 10-track record, and I wrote 7 to 10 songs, and we just got some of the mixes, as you literally said, Billy Gilman, my phone dinged, and it was my producer going, we got the first round of mixes, so no rest for the weary.
What's the name of the album?
The name of the album.
Can we get that?
Yeah, I can get that up.
How about the new Billy Gilman album?
It's called Crazy, no. It's called Roller Coaster.
All right, you heard it first tonight.
Because my life is nothing but.
What a journey you've had. Of course, we all remember you in the first song, especially those of us that worked in radio. We got this song called One Voice. Like, what is that voice? It was incredible. Oh, wait, there it is. Right. Whoa! Who had that album? Who had that cassette?
Wow, okay, so you gotta sing along tonight.
So you started your career as a young star. There are quite a few young stars or teen stars that get started in the music business, go on to have amazing careers. So what was it like being a teen star? I guess when I'm going with that, I guess what were the fun things about being a teen star? To be a star at a very young age and to be touring the country and getting to play big venues and on television. You know, what was that? What were some of the good things about that?
All of it. Even, you know, some people go to school, they figure out what they want to do with their lives, and they find a career that they're passionate about. I mean, at 18 months old, I was humming the Jeopardy theme, so it was totally chosen for me, and I was so blessed to have people in my life that supported that. They didn't just say, just go to school and then figure it out. So the singing part for me was always the fun. It wasn't the limos or the buses or the planes or the whatever. It was just to be on a stage like this and sing my heart out. It still feels the same as it did when I was 7 and 8 years old, just getting started. But the hotel rooms were kind of great.
Did you get to go to Disney World and get the VIP experience and that kind of stuff?
Oh, I still do.
Oh, still? He still takes advantage of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I still do. I love doing it with people that have no idea yet. Wasted it one time on my ex. That was a big mistake. But we're seeing friends that don't know that, and then we walk through and we can do Space Mountain 17 times if you want to, and they're like, get out. It's kind of cool. That's a perk. And actually, funniest stuff, I'm a Disney fanatic, and October of 2001, I don't know. I was the Grand Marshal with Mickey at Hollywood Studios, MGM Studios, whatever you remember it as, and got to put my hands in the cement. That was pretty cool. It's gone, so I don't know where the hell it is.
That's nice.
Guess the one-hit wonder kind of thing.
So those were some fun things about being a young star. Okay, now seriously, what was a bad thing about being a youngster? You look back and say, that wasn't a good part of it, or that was one part of it I didn't like. So a bad thing about being a young star, teen star.
I think, I grew up in a world where we really didn't have YouTube and things. So I wasn't really accustomed to seeing negativity, like hateful negativity. And then as I got older, YouTube became a thing, and the anonymous factor, the anonymity of Music Fan 101. He could be your neighbor for all I know, and they're saying horrible things. That part I don't really care for. Also, when you are sick or you are just not in the mood, and you have to turn it on, no matter, it doesn't matter. It's not about you, and that's hard. That's very hard, because I give 150%, so if I'm at half-mast and I know I can't, it's difficult. So that part I'm not too crazy about. A contracted show with the flu. Yeah.
You go ahead, right?
Yep.
Just do it.
Move on.
So how did you, you're from Rhode Island, right, clearly?
Yep.
Rhode Island. So how does this young kid from Rhode Island land a record deal in Nashville? How did that happen?
So, I started singing in choir, church, school, landed all these solos. My grandmother realized, okay, this isn't going away, and she was quite the businesswoman, and she was like to my mom, Fran, we gotta get him to a voice coach. My mother's like, if you do that, I will not speak to you ever again. I don't think it was that drastic, but it was that bad. And so my grandmother goes, all right, yeah. She called a voice coach locally, who is still with me after 7 years. Angela. She called Angela and she said, I have a grandson that sings. Later on, I'm talking to Angela years down the road. She's like, thinking to herself, yeah, everyone has a grandson that sings. And my grandmother said, no, Billy, every Tuesday, we're going to lunch. And 6 months after that, my mother goes, there's no way you're going every Tuesday with this child to lunch. He's annoying. And cat's out of the bag. But at that point, it was 6 months into seeing a voice coach, and she had no choice. And after being with Ange for 1.5 years, conditioning my voice, learning how to breathe correctly and proper ways to move on a stage, she introduced me to a local agent that put me in front of Martina McBride, Jody Messina, opening act. Like Bravely, aren't they great?
Yes!
See a lot of me in them, they're so young. And so, at one particular spot, a gentleman from a local band said, I have some connections in Austin, Texas. Would you mind sending me a demo tape? And that demo tape led to going to make my first real demo with the band Asleep at the Wheel from Austin, Texas. And they brought me to the Wild Horse Saloon, and lo and behold, I didn't know that it was more of a showcase. And RCA, Sony, and all of these crazy people were in the back of the room with their cards, and everyone was like, what do we do now? Well, we're from Rhode Island, we don't know. And we picked the best people that we thought were more family-oriented and made a team. And so I was signed to Sony in November of 1999, and the first single came out in May. Yeah. So it wasn't like a grand dame. I worked. I was flunking school terribly because I would work on the weekends, try to do the homework, and eventually they pulled me out and I was tutored from 7th grade to graduation. So I worked hard. It wasn't like it was just some whimsical child star found on the side of the road and I had no clue. We really hit the pavement for a very long time.
When you were just getting started, was there maybe another young or teen star that became older and established in the business that reached out to you and kind of gave you advice or took you under your wing? Or anybody that comes to mind that right away was like, hey kid, you need to know this?
No. I've become friends with one of my greatest friends that I talk to quite a bit is Leanne Rhymes. She started just a few years before I did. She has never given me advice, but she's always been there as a sounding board. Hunter Hayes, another great friend of mine. Reba, I toured with her. Dolly Parton actually gave me the best advice one time. I met her, I first met her when I was 12. It was my debut at the ACM Awards. I was 4'8", came right where you think I came. People wonder why. And she said, darling, she said, I don't know how long you're gonna last, but remember this, you meet the same people on the way up as you do on the way down, and no one stays here forever. And it's true. You go through peaks and valleys of a career, and you should always be respectful and nice to everyone you meet because they may be helping you out again when you need it. You know what I mean? So that was good advice. That was good advice.
Okay, so as we look at this picture behind us, okay, so how old were you there? Was that taken a year before you had the record deal?
Yeah, so that was 6 months old.
Okay.
Yep. No, I was 12. That was a photo shoot in New York. So I wish I didn't know this was going to happen, but I wish I could have shown you what it was going to look like. Cowboy hat, all this get up, right? And Tommy Mottola, who was the head of Sony New York, who was married to Mariah Carey, all that. Alan Butler, the president of Nashville's division, gets a phone call, and they said, we have to fly you to New York to do a photo shoot. They want you to lose the hat. Meanwhile, my grandmother paid like $600 for this stupid 10-gallon hat. She was so depressed. I think that was more depressing than her dog dying. Was the cowboy hat being thrown to the wayside, I swear. But yeah, like, I think that was like March or April of 2000.
Okay, so what would this Billy Gilman tell that Billy Gilman? So that's a thinking question.
I could really eat that.
Well, go for it. Nobody's recording, right?
Yes.
Wait, they are. Okay, hold on. Censor the answer.
I was a little shit. You can just tell in my eyes, right?
Yeah.
I would tell him to just trust the process. I was always so anxious that the voice change was such a terrible time, and I really never thought it would come back, and especially not as well, and God, thankfully, as well as it did, and as strong as it did. He would always worry and never be in the moment, and I would tell him just trust, because here we are. You know, I wish I knew that then, because you don't. No one knows what tomorrow brings, but it's been a great ride, and you all have never given up, and here we are with a new record and a new record deal because of you and your faith in me and your belief in seeing me still. You know, it's honestly because of you, so that's what I would tell him. It's gonna be all right.
All right, Billy, the fun part of the show, we're going to go out there now. Okay?
Oh.
So Mark's going to come down the stairs. As he comes down, like I said earlier, if you ever want to submit questions for our question and answer interviews, just go to kevinrichards.com. You join the email club, and before every show, we ask you to send them in. So thank you. And then with that, we want to thank our sponsors as Mark comes down the stairs. Froggy 100.3, Big Country 107.1, Mark Petrie Real Estate Team, who helps sponsor all the ads so we get the word out about every single show. We want to thank you guys. You are the sponsors. We don't have any corporate sponsors. In order for us to keep this show going and bring Nashville to the North Country, it's because of every single ticket you buy in every seat. We can't do it if you don't buy a ticket and help us spread the word, so thank you. You are the big sponsor tonight. All right, so with that,
All right.
Mark, so who do we have?
We have Tim Healy from Queensbury, New York. Where is Tim?
Hi, Tim.
How you doing, Tim?
You're part of the soundtrack experience.
So Tim's question is, what was it like to be the youngest artist ever to have a top 40 hit on the country charts at 11, and a debut album reach double platinum at 12?
I was just floored and honored and grateful, and I really didn't get what it meant. I just wanted to get on the next stage and just do it all over again the next night. So it was very hard to grasp as a kid. I get it now. But because I loved it so much, it was never work. It was more of a game. So I was grateful, but I just didn't, it went way over my head, to be honest. Huh? Oh, they loved it. Cruises.
They got to go to Disney.
Buses, Disney. Yeah, they loved it. But they always wanted to make sure that their son was safe. The minute they could sniff out that I was not, my well-being as their child and their grandchild was not being well kept, they would pull me right out. And that, I think, is what is the story to my success more than anything, was I had a great foundation. And I didn't get lost in the shuffle like so many other child stars do.
Thanks, Tim. Thank you, Tim.
All right, who's next, Mark?
We have Jeremy Little from Chestertown, New York. There's Jeremy.
Front row
There's
seat.
Jeremy.
Hi.
Nice seat. All right. If you could go into the studio with any artist today and collaborate on a new song, who would it be and why?
They know the answer.
They know the answer. Sound check. Yeah. Boy, what is he, 5? Male singer, that's correct. Maybe Brett Young. I'm totally in love with the sound of his records. I fell in love and you didn't. Oh, really? Turn the car around and drive off a pier. Love those kind of songs. Female? I honestly probably would say Adele. Yes. I would love to do a song with Adele, and she just seems like the coolest person. So,
Nice. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
Jeremy.
you.
Who's next?
We have Cecilia Beatty from Scotia. I think I saw Cecilia back here. She says, how did you become interested in music and singing?
like I said, it was totally in me from birth. I think I came out singing. So it kind of chose me, you know, and luckily I was, you know, brought up to love it and to not ignore it and maybe choose a more normal path, school, doctor, lawyer. Because who wants stability, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it was always there, so it's just, the love of it began when I first know how to even make a sentence.
Cecilia loves to sing and play the piano too.
Actually, let's give Cecilia credit. We had a Liberace tribute show here, and he invited her on the stage to play a beautiful piece on the grand piano. So keep up the great work, Cecilia.
Thanks.
She has been on this stage.
All right,
I like how it's like up. It's fun. It's great.
Not a bad seat in the house.
It's like a mini Hollywood Bowl.
There you go. Next up, we have Craig and Deb Stollery.
Hi, guys.
Are they? Oh, they're there. There they are.
Hi.
They're from Corinth, New York, and their question is: your song choices are so amazing, especially One Voice, When We Were Young. Do you choose these songs yourself, or do you have people pre-screen them and then send you what they think you would like?
So The Voice, that was all my choosing, and I knew I couldn't really fit the formula of I'm not going to just all do country because that leads to, at that point in my head, I thought that leads to a comparison of my youth, and some people might not like the way I sound now or hated the way I sounded then. So when I was on that show, I just said, you know what, I'm going to run this race like Secretariat and just go 100 miles an hour every Monday night, and whatever song hits me, that's the one I want to do. And sometimes it was Martina McBride, sometimes it was Freddie Mercury, sometimes it was Adele. As far as records go, I'm writing the majority of the stuff. Like tonight, I'm doing a bunch of new songs that you'll hear. Before, like in the One Voice era, that I still even have the opportunity to sit down in management offices and just listen to tapes. Okay, that one I can do, that one I believe, that. So I always had a say, but when it came to the first single being One Voice, that was not my choice. I actually cried and thought they were going to dump my career even before it began, because I thought it was the most boring song I'd ever heard in my life. True story. And Angela said, you gotta trust the process. And boy, was I happy I was wrong. So it depends. When I was younger, they were more or less chosen, but I still had an opinion. But now it's what I feel is best.
Do you have a favorite flavor ice cream?
Pistachio. I'm 90 years old.
Great. Thanks, guys. Mary Dodge from Glens Falls. So, there's Mary. How you doing?
Hi, Mary.
Mary's question is, how did you become acquainted with the poet Matty Stempanel, who was the inspiration for some of your songs?
Yeah, so Matty, for those of you who don't know, Matty Stepanek was a poet, New York Times best-selling poet at 12. And coincidentally, Larry King was a huge asset to my career. Most people don't know that. But he gave me a lot of doors, opened a lot of doors for me, and also put me on his show a bunch of times. And when you're really famous, you get the whole hour. So I got 5 minutes. I got a half hour, and so I was really curious who would, do this show with, like who he felt was fitting coming after me or before me. So this kid came after me, and his name was Matty, and he started to recite some of these poems. And at that point, I was just starting to work on a new record. And these poems literally sounded like music. They needed to be put to melody, not just to be read in a book. And so I called my management office and fought because it was not the most commercial idea and they were not for it. But I got my way, and the record went to number 15 on the charts. And coincidentally, he actually had a rare form of muscular dystrophy called mitochondrial myopathy. Affects the muscles in the lungs and his speaking. And eventually he passed away from that at 14 years old. And then I got heavily involved with Jerry Lewis at the MDA telethons and had a great life philanthropically through them, and have raised about $3 million for them in 18 years. So, that's been a great highlight for me personally and professionally. Great question.
Thanks. Claire Littlejohn from Colony has a question. Claire's right here in the front. She says, how do you always sing on key, and what do you do to take care of your voice?
Oh, everything and anything. I don't talk before, show days I don't talk before lunch, before 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Heavy vocal warm-ups every day. It's like a runner, or when you go to the gym, you just don't start lifting 100-pound weights. You stretch, you do what you need to do. Specific teas, specific sprays. Really just vocal rest is the best medicine. if you don't have to speak, don't. Which is a great excuse if I'm in a bad mood. All I want to do is rest. And how do I sing on key? I don't know. That I can't answer.
Angela.
It's not all the time. Angela. Oh, yeah, but I can't. I don't know. Hopefully I do. I don't.
All right. Thanks, Claire.
Thank you.
Kenny Waters Jr. from Rotterdam. Where's Kenny?
Hi, Kenny.
We are right there. His question is, how did you come up with the song One Voice, and where did you first perform
The song, so we were done with the whole record. Well, he's gone now. It's the AARP version now. So we were done with the record, and the very first single, I say this in the show, but whatever, was supposed to be Oklahoma. And they come running in the studio saying, "Nope, we got to extend your stay. We just wrote this song, and it was inspired by the horrific events of Columbine." And I listened to the song, hated it. Went in the car, cried. Angela was like, "Calm down, kid. Just trust them." And I was glad I was wrong. And now I love the song. I mean, I had to give it a chance. You know what I mean? And the messages that I received from people and how much it's made an impact in their life. It's just, it will forever be my #1 song. Obviously, no pun intended. And the first time I sang it, when was the first time I sang it? You remember? I'm not talking to God, I'm talking to Angela.
Same thing.
Same thing. I think it was a makeshift stage in a parking lot in Walmart in Franklin, Tennessee. I think that was the first time I sang it at a promotional thing. I think that was the very first time. I can't. That's a great question. I've never been asked that.
We have another fan, Katie from Queensbury, here in the front row.
She was at sound check.
Yeah, she wanted to know what was it like to be One Voice with Home Free.
Yeah, that was a treat. Of course, it was during COVID, and we really couldn't come up with a safe way of doing a recording because I'm not going to sing with a mask on, and the musicians can't be together. But it was the 20th anniversary, and coincidentally, not hunting for them or searching out for an idea, they came calling on our office line and said, "We really want to collaborate with George Gilman on One Voice." And I went, "Well, funny enough, it's the 20th anniversary. This is perfect." And it's a great way. I love to flip the script. Like if on The Voice, if you saw me, I did my way, but I started a cappella, so you forget about Frank Sinatra for just a second because it's iconic and one of the biggest songs. I like to turn the tables and flip it and make it my own a little bit. And to think the first version is the way it is, and now this new version is completely a cappella. It's different. You can't compare it. And if anything, it makes the lyrics stand out more because that's all there really is, the melody and the lyrics. There's no music to hide behind, so I'm very proud of it. And I was very proud of the video. It won 5 Telly Awards. We beat Dolly Parton, actually, for that music video that came out a year or two ago, so thank you for asking. I hope you like it.
Yes.
All right, Billy. Where's the most unusual place you've ever sang One Voice? Other than the shower.
Funny enough, I don't sing in the shower. Oddest
You should
place.
take your eyes on the order of those books.
I don't know
Give
if
it
there's
to
Parking lot at Walmart.
parking lot at Walmart. Yup.
Thank you so much for all the fan
That's funny.
questions.
That was great, guys.
We
Thank
do
you.
have one more. Of course, we want to thank everybody that helps make these shows possible. Tim Drawbridge and the city of Glens Falls have done amazing work in getting the word out, along with News 10. Thank you very much. Nippertown is here, thank you. And the Chronicle has been a supporter from day one with Randy Travis. Kathy Deedy is here, and she has our final question. So, Kathy, we'd like to invite you up to the
Make sure you shake
microphone.
it.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
On behalf of all the people who didn't get to speak out loud, we're really excited to hear you tonight.
Thank you.
So thanks for that. Great questions, great answers. And I guess I'm wondering, you said something about the transition time between when you were a child star and your current career now.
Mhm.
So I'm interested in what was the turning point for you for where you're at now, and where are you at now? Where are you living, and what are you doing these days?
So the transition, how I knew it was ending, It took a very long time for my voice to come back. I don't know if it's because I use it
You have all
more
of your
intricately
games,
than
you can
most.
get dipshit
It took a while. I was in my 20s before I really felt comfortable again, and then I was thrusted into the voice. And since then,
Oh, yeah, no, Joey,
many people
yeah, it's
I
laid
know in the
out.
audience that
He
have
was
seen
having
me.
a whole time out
Been
there.
traveling all over the country. It's a great resurgence because of the voice. And I mean, maybe that made it the new record.
Yeah.
I'm back and forth between Nashville and my home state of Rhode Island.
I'm dead serious about buying
I
new
love it. I've done that for a long time.
Going outside with him
Um,
and talk to.
So yeah, the new record comes out. The new single comes out in 30 days. More touring. It's good to have that rhythm again. You know, I missed it so much, and how could I not? You guys are the best. So it's good to be back, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. You mentioned, I think, the Jerry Lewis telethon earlier. The folks here, because you've not only helped them, you've helped us locally.
Yes, I have. Where's Lisa?
The Center for Disability Services telethon, which is based out of Albany and also here in the North Country, the Prospect Center. Billy Gilman has been a big supporter of that for a few years, and he often appears on the show. The folks are here.
Yeah.
We want to say thank you and remind everybody that it is on next Sunday, February 5th.
Make sure
So honored that they asked. Scheduling conflicts this year, but hopefully next year we're in. Just amazing support that, well, your donations help keep these amazing facilities around for children that have disabilities of all kind, primarily, if I remember correctly, accidental. Car accidents, baseball injury, like massive injuries. And to see them light up when you walk through the door and you sing them a song or you know, hug them and make time for them, it's what fuels me to know that this and all of this, it's of course, but it's to be a messenger to help in any way. And I was right on the Ash a few years back and made so many great friendships. And so if you can give and watch, please, because it goes right to the facilities and it's so needed, especially in today's tough world. So any amount, big or small, is so important. It makes one voice, that's for sure, on behalf of these amazing.
And this is a local telethon for our community.
Yes.
He's talking about the Center for Disability Services right in Albany. It'll be on next Sunday on Fox 23. So isn't that amazing? He's helping and we reach out and ask Billy for us. So thanks. I know you guys are ready for some Billy Gilman music, but one fun question I always love to end with. Now, I know you started in country, you're on The Voice, you sang all genres, you have success in everything you sing. But one thing I love to do at the end is just throw this at whoever's sitting next to me. It's always fun, you never know where we're going.
Oh no.
First thing that comes to mind, top of your head, sing me a line of your favorite country classic.
Like, it's not a fucking choice. And you're gonna do it every fucking month.
There's a lot.
I wish you were already done it since.
Oh man, it's like a jukebox in my head right this minute. A5. No.
What to do is fucking September.
Sweet dreams of you. Every night I go through. Why can't I forget the past? Start loving someone new instead of having sweet dreams about you.
Thank you, everybody. Billy Gilman, back up just a moment.
Where do you know those calls from?
Birthday. I guess it's time.